Oh, are we started? Good morning. Let me turn that AC down. Good morning. It's actually afternoon because I'm not going to be posting this until 3 p.m., which is my target time each day to post these 60 days of service business building. I told you guys yesterday that today's video would get a little bit more inside my day-to-day life. What better way to do that than while I'm still in my workout gear first thing in the morning and walk you through the office. But as I'm headed back from my workout, it really got me thinking about something. Most business owners, especially people who are in the service industry, damn, I gotta turn this AC down. Especially people in the service industry, you know, we feel so chained by day-to-day events and the chaos of employees, subcontractors, phone calls, customers, all that kind of stuff. And really we're led to believe, probably even by some of the people within our organization or mentors or partners or whatever, that, you know, hey, you can't live a routine life. Man, that sounds bright, a scheduled life. And really prepping for this video made me think about myself 5 years ago. I gotta focus on the camera here. Made me think about myself 5 years ago. See, I was a product of my environment, and the service industry as a whole, construction in general, a lot of times can be chaos, especially when you're first getting started in business, and especially when you're dealing with subcontractors and people that need stuff from you all the time. So I remember being stressed out, a prisoner to what I call white noise or static. I talked yesterday about my insatiable appetite to grow, and I've always had that. And 5+ years ago, I just remember thinking, you know, I had all these things I wanted to accomplish and all these things I wanted to solve, but I was at a breaking point in my life. I was at a point to where I couldn't keep my schedule straight. Let me see if I can get out of the sun here. Not only could I not keep my schedule straight, I was constantly imprisoned and fearful of somebody coming to my office and what they were going to need of me. I was a low producer because I was running a business. I had my own sales to keep up with. I was trying to build systems. I was trying to do all these things. And I was seriously at a nervous breakdown point. And I was there because I had just had it ingrained in my mind that being in the service industry, or just the business that I was in, you couldn't have a schedule, right? I would make excuses to people, especially my wife, when she would say, well, why don't you schedule out your day? Why don't you plan or prepare so that you can be ready for the unknowns and all that kind of stuff? And I made excuses to her. I said, I can't. This is a construction business. I can't. You don't understand. You don't get it. I'm in construction. I am a business owner. There will never be a time when I can do that. And I had enough nervous breakdowns to the point that finally I sat down and said, what if I could do that? What if I could schedule out my day? And so 5 years ago, I sat down and I started writing out my plan each and every day. I thought about the number of hours I had in each day and how to be principled with those. Not only how to be principled with those, but how to communicate with the people around me that here are the hours I can do this, here are the hours I can do that. And it took ultra focus to do that and get those things straight. And you know what I realized as I started documenting my time is that, man, I waste a lot of time in the white noise. I waste a lot of time being inefficient by taking calls that seem important at that very moment, but maybe I could wait and get to if I clearly communicated with the person. If I just looked at my phone and sent the text and said, hey, I'm making callbacks between 3 and 4 p.m., I'll call you back at that point. So I could stay laser focused on whatever I was doing at that point. But really what made me think about this is the gym. You know, 5 years ago, I was unhealthy. I was never a fat person by any means, but I was unhealthy. I was tired. I was worn out. I was bloated. I felt horrible. And I didn't even know it because it was my normal, right? It was my normal. And I always heard and read things all the time about how the most ultra successful people work out, take health serious. They take their eating habits serious, and it gives them more energy, causes them to be able to hire producers, all this stuff. And I flat ass rejected that. I remember looking and seeking out people around this part of the country, specifically because those are the closest people I could see, who in my mind had achieved some level of success, and matching up my excuses to how they lived their life. I looked for people who who made a lot of money or created a lot of wealth or success for themselves and said, see, this person doesn't work out, they smoke, they drink, they don't eat healthy. And I found myself trying to stay in my comfort zone by aligning my excuses with some level of success. And so us as human beings, we are so ridiculous. I mean, we see the highest producers, the highest success rates, the scientific proven facts of working out or eating right or whatever it is, yet we crawl into our comfort zone and make excuses to stay away from taking the action that we know, trying to stay out of the sun, good and well will take us to the next level. So 5 years ago, I was unhealthy, I was unhappy, I was killing myself to get in just 9 hours a day, I was fatigued, couldn't hardly handle anything. And about 3 years ago when my daughter was born, I decided to start working out, and I wanted to just be healthier for her, for me, to be able to be active with her. And that's when my, I guess, passion for being in shape kind of kicked in. And the funny thing is, being in shape and working out gives you so much more energy to follow through to the next day, to continue working out, that it becomes it becomes something that you just want and you have to have. What am I trying to say? You become so motivated to do it, you become obsessed with it. And obsession, in my mind, is not a bad thing as long as you are focused on good things to be obsessed. Being obsessed with working out, what is wrong with that? Especially if you're taking care of the rest of your life. So every single day, it became a thing for me that I couldn't even get going in the morning without working out. And what did that do? That created more energy. It created more confidence. It created more knowledge in my brain. It really did. It expanded my focus to be able to perform more and then get even more detail with my schedule and give me even more ability to stay focused. So I started working out and I started getting in better shape. And what did I need to do to start working out and doing that? Again, I'll go back to the example that I was just like, I think, what the average company owner or service contractor, really human being, is. I said, there's no way I can even schedule my day. There's no way that I can live inside this white noise or this world of construction and have this schedule lined out, let alone could I work out for an hour each day. So when I decided to make that commitment, what did I do? I realigned my schedule and I reprioritized my day to where I started getting up earlier. I started waking up at 5 a.m., sometimes 4:30 a.m., and I was off by 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening so that I could have time dedicated to my newborn daughter and my wife. Now, I'm not always perfect in my personal life. I let work kind of sometimes disrupt the harmony, but the last couple of years have become a lot better at that. So a typical day for me, coming from the disorganized general contractor who said I couldn't do this, there's no way I could do it, starts at 5 a.m., to where I get up to the office. I'm able to get in a few things in the morning, a few critical things. In fact, from the hours of 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., I probably do more than most people do in an entire 8-hour day. In fact, the average person only works 7.5 hours out of a 24-hour day, but I usually get more done between 5 and 7 than the average person probably gets done in their 8-hour work day. In fact, this morning, what did I get done this morning? This morning I got to my office, I put together a PowerPoint presentation to explain a critical process within our companies. I spent some time prospecting online. Some of you guys out there who I've been reaching out to try to gain roofing inspections or things like that, you can attest you got a message this morning in your inbox because I want to bring as much value to you and share in our business building collaboration that we've got coming up. So I did a PowerPoint, I did some prospecting, I finished a roofing proposal, and I also did some just day prep and refined my schedule to make certain this afternoon that I am fully locked and loaded to kick ass. So it's now 8:20, and before 8:20 I've accomplished all those things, kept myself in good health, and I'm about to walk into the office and check in with everybody and get my day kind of cranking on that level. So actually I think what I'll do right now is kill the vehicle and you guys just come along with me into the office. You know, another thing that I do every single day, you'll see in a minute, is I prep actually every single night. So if you've got an excuse that, oh, I can't be ready, I can't do that, I can't work out in the morning, how do I get all these things done? Why don't you take 10 minutes before you go to bed at night and pack up your bag? That's something I do religiously. I pack my bag and I get prepped. So I've got all of my gear, my street clothes, if you will, prep for the day to go back to the office. And I'm lucky enough that I have a little tiny shower in my office. So this is gonna be interesting how I'm gonna carry all this stuff and keep you on. So let's just go along for a ride. How am I gonna do this here? Gotta lock my vehicle and everything. So I'm out, it's 8:22. We're walking into the office. Let's see who we can greet this morning. I'm actually gonna turn it right here as we walk in. What's happening in the office? I'm just gonna give you a preview as we walk through. Oh, hello. Good morning, Erica. You didn't get my text. Oh, you're all looking at me like lunatics. I told you I was gonna come in with this. Good morning. She's the last person that wanted that. She's trying to hide behind the wall. And I missed Aaron, but I know you're back there. So, anyways, once I get done with my workout, get back to my office, I've got 10 minutes that I dedicate to education. And Amelia's missing today because she's sick. But I got 10 minutes every single morning that I dedicate to personal education. So I spend time on any of the programs. Man, those fluorescents are awful. Any of the programs or knowledge that I bought into. I spent a lot of time with Break Free Academy stuff. I'm also learning in the Watch Conspiracy group right now, the wealth transfer system a little bit. So I spend 10 to 15 minutes, whether it be watching videos and or just increasing my knowledge and then putting down notes as to how I can apply that. Once I'm done with that here in just a minute with my personal development education this morning, I will go hop in the shower, be back to my desk by 9 a.m. with just enough time to look at the schedule one more time and start my morning huddle that I have every single morning with Amelia and my wife to make sure the day is prepped and ready to go. So if I didn't take enough bunny trails, we'll get on it tomorrow. But here's a clean shot of the office, full 360. We will catch you guys tomorrow.